Do you know that the group of monuments is a collection of 7th and 8th century religious monuments and a UNESCO World Heritage Site? It is time to learn about Mahabalipuram before starting our main episode. Mahabalipuram is also known as Mamalapuram. Mamala means great wrestler and refers to the 7th century Pallava king Narasimhavarman I. His father Mahendravarman I was a Pallava king during 600 to 630 Common Era. He was a scholar, painter, architect, and musician. He was a great patron of letters and architecture. He constructed a lighthouse in Mahabalipuram and also constructed Kanchi University where Vedas, Buddhism, Jainism, painting, music and dance was taught. He was the pioneer of rock cut architecture among the Pallavas. Fine examples of his rock cut temples can be found at Mahabalipuram. Narasimhavarman shared his father's love of art and completed the work started by his father in Mamalapuram. Mamalapuram has 40 ancient monuments and Hindu temples, and they are collectively known as group of monuments. These monuments can be categorized into rathas or chariot shaped temples, mandapas or cave temples, rock reliefs, and structural temples. Welcome to episode 3. In today's episode, we will visit Ganesh Ratha and Trimurti Cave Temple. We are now at Ganesh Ratha. Ganesh Ratha is a temple carved out of pink granite. It is an example of monolithic rock cut architecture dating from late 7th century during the reign of King Mahendravarman I and his son Narasimhavarman I. It is one of the 10 rathas carved at Mahabalipuram. This temple was originally dedicated to Lord Shiva, but in 1880s, villagers replaced the Shivalinga with an image of Ganesha. The Ratha is built to a rectangular plan. The Ratha is three-tied structure and studded with images and other archaeological features. The columns are mounted on seated lions as you can see here. There are also two pilasters which are also lion mounted and they face each other. The front portion is flanked by sculptures of Dwarapalakas as you can see here. Let's have a closer look of Dwarapalakas and the mounted lions on the columns. Just to remind you, this whole structure is made of a single rock. That is why it is monolithic rock cut architecture. Let's go around the temple once. Let's have a final glimpse of Ganesh Ratha before we move to Krishna's butterball. Welcome to Krishna's butterball. It is a gigantic granite boulder resting on a short incline. Though it is named as Krishna's butterball, it has no relation to Lord Krishna. Many attempts have been made to move the boulder from its position due to safety concerns, but with no success. The boulder is approximately 6 meters high and 5 meters wide and weighs around 250 tons. It seems to float and barely stand on a slope on top of 1.2-meter high plinth, which is a naturally eroded hill and is said to have been at the same place for 1200 years. This is a great place for taking your pictures, as well as you can slide on the hillock from top to the bottom. Kids particularly love to do that. Next, we are walking towards Trimurti temple, which is an example of rock cut cave temple. Let's talk about cave temples now. The cave temples have distinctive styles. In these caves, the carvings of the faces of the human figures are oval shaped with high cheekbones. The body looks slim with tapering limbs. They have several striking mythological scenes carved in relief. Another particular feature noted in the caves is that the lingas are individual carvings and in prismatic shape. Welcome to Trimurti Cave Temple. This temple has 3 shrines that are dedicated to Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. The first thing you will notice is the Gopis chant right in front of the temple. It is a well-like structure with steps to reach the top of the well. This temple doesn't have pillared mandapa, but it straightaway has 3 shrines. Let's have the glimpse of the 3 shrines now. The first shrine on the left, the second shrine in the middle and the third shrine on the right. The first shrine is dedicated to Lord Brahma, the middle for Lord Shiva and the third for Lord Vishnu on the right. Each of these shrines has 2 Dwarapalakas at the entrance, as you can see here. All the shrines have 2 dwarf ganas and 2 devotees at the feet of main deities. According to the scholars, the idol in the leftmost shrine is that of Subramanya instead of Brahma. This is the goddess Durga in the form of Mahishasuramardini with 8 hands. She is standing on the head of buffalo representing demon Mahisha. Let us look at Vishnu's shrine now. Lord Vishnu is in the center and there are 2 devotees at his feet. On either of his side is 2 dwarf ganas that are depicted here. Do notice the Dwarapalakas at the entrance. Let us look at Lord Shiva's shrine now. The rock relief on the wall is very similar to what we have seen in Lord Vishnu's shrine. In addition, we have a Shivalinga here. Notice the curved lines and the vertical line as you can see here on the Shivalinga. This shrine has also 2 Dwarapalakas at the entrance. Let us move to Lord Brahma or Lord Subramanya shrine on the left side. The rock relief is again very similar to the 2 shrines we have seen. Let's have a final glimpse of the Trimurti Cave Temple. The leftmost is for Lord Brahma, as we have said. The right one is for Lord Vishnu, and the middle one, as you can see here, is for Lord Shiva. With this, we are ending this episode of Group of Monuments. You have seen the Trimurti Cave Temple over there, followed by the Butterball and the Ganesh Ratha over there. In the next episode, we will be covering Arjuna's penance or the descent of Ganges. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching and have a good day.